Hi everyone, and welcome to Think Outside the Banner, in-app and alternative monetization. My name is Roy. I'm going to be the host today, and we've got a great panel with great participants. So let's start by getting to know them. Maya, can you start?
Yes. Hello. Okay, I'm Maya Berlin, Director of Monetization and CRM in Huuuge Games. I'm leading the CRM and monetization teams in our two flagship games, Huuuge Casino and Billionaire Casino. Both are social casino games. That's it.
Hello, my name is Yael Aviram. I'm a monetization group manager in Playtika in a game that's called Animals and Coins. The monetization in the game is based on in-app purchases, but we also have ads.
Hi everyone, my name is Pavel Kuzmenko. I'm Partner Success Manager at Infatica, a web data management solutions provider. I help our partners integrate our monetization solution and earn more from their apps and games.
Okay, sounds good. As I said, great participants. So as UA is becoming more and more advanced and more costly, this is like one of the biggest problems whenever I speak to a publisher or developer, he says UA is getting too much and it's really very challenging to really succeed in this market. It's a shark market, I would even say. What would you focus on when building and monetizing a game? Let's start with Maya.
Yes, sure. So as you said, UA costs are getting higher and we need to prioritize lifetime value over amounts of new players that we get. So we're focusing basically on three types of things. One is improving the first-time experience funnel, so the players that we do get to download the game make it through, from making them make their first spin, to handling other metrics like day 1, day 7, day 30 retention, which is very important. We're doing it through smart product improvements, and we're also focusing on how to get them engaged. I think engagement is one of the most important things. And of course, we're also focusing on retention and reactivation. Reactivation can be done through CRM channels. We're using a lot of our products for reactivation purposes. A good example is our Battle Pass. By giving free Battle Passes to players who haven't been in the game very long, it brings them back. It makes them engaged. They have a whole month to enjoy their gift. So there is a much higher chance for them to reactivate and stay in the game. Of course, we're also thinking a lot about our loyal players, the ones who are in the game. We want to keep them retained. We want to make the gaming experience exciting for them, interesting, to innovate all the time. So with all of this, we're trying to handle this difficult problem of bringing new blood, new players, and yes.
As I said, this is a great answer. This is a Shark Tank tonight, and Huge is a great example. And now let's hear from another shark, Playtika.
Yes, I will add that now buying players is very expensive. We have less users. The share of the incentivized users getting bigger. So it's very important to identify user from the moment they install the game and create a dedicated funnel and treatment for each type of install of each users. It can be from the base economy game through different offers funnel. For example, for incentivized users, we know they are more willing to pay because they have the targets and the mission. So we are giving them different offers, higher one even, and we'll feed the economy that will be consistent with their target, and by that we maximize the potential of each install, and it can be this type of users, but we can also identify different segments of installs. And I think the key is to get the unique treatment for each one of them, and by that squeezing the lemon for the new install that we don't have a lot.
Okay, so as you can hear, there's a lot of optimization and personalization in both companies, which is very important today. Let's talk about another thing that it's becoming like a real trend now because a lot of regulations and policy changes in Europe. External web stores. This is also a great way to increase LTVs. The margins there are much better. It's not even comparable from around 30% in in-app and in Google, in Apple and in Google, to around, sometimes, depend on your negotiation team, between 2, I would say, to 6 if you don't know how to negotiate. So if someone would like to start in exploring this field, what would you recommend are the best practices and the best way to go? Maya.
I always start.
Last time.
It's okay, all good. So we have been dealing with web stores for, I think, more than 2 years already. We have gone through all phases of regulations and regulation changes. In the beginning, the regulations were much tougher, so we started off with exclusive web shops for our VIP players, and it was easier to convert them because we have personal approach to these VIP players. We could make them buy outside our game because basically you had to send them to outside a web store. So by personal contact from our VIP teams and the account managers, it was relatively easier. I wouldn't say easy to send them there and create this trust with the players for them to purchase outside the game. Also, it's very, very important, of course, to create exclusivity. So it was their exclusive VIP shop with their special offers. It's very important to always give them higher value there because they need a reason to make this uncomfortable action and go outside the game to buy. As regulations changed, we also opened up web shops for our general population, which was much tougher. The communication is harder. The trust of a player who is not a VIP player who's been with us for a long time is much harder to get, and especially that we mostly had social media channels to approach them. And then there was the game changer this year, which was the iOS regulation that allowed us to communicate straight from the app. It still wasn't easy, but we managed to get much more conversions and move much more of our revenue to the external web shops. And then there was another game changer with the seamless experience of creating checkout links inside the game. So basically, we already don't need those players to go click, buy in an external web shops and go back to the game. We can implement a straightforward experience of them checking out with the external checkouts. And we just started with it, but I think this is the big game changer. And once it's going to be allowed, we know Google is also on the way with the regulations, it's still pending, but once things open up and also open up in Europe outside US, I think this is going to change a lot in the scope of D2C.
Thank you. Yes, no doubt when the friction goes down, the revenues and conversion will be much, much higher, and everybody is expecting that. Yael, would you like to follow up?
Maya said most of the things, but I will add that we already launched DTC in iOS, and we are willing to launch it in the next weeks in Android. And I think that the game changer for now for games that their most revenue focus from America is the potential. So we need to optimize the funnel, to optimize the UI, the communication, and by that to increase the conversion, and there is a lot of potential of revenue there.
Yeah, totally agreed. Now, one of you said squeezing the lemon. I really like to say that. Do you have, Pavel, I'm sorry.
There are a few things I wanted to
Didn't
add.
sit that far away from me.
Yeah, this might not directly apply to us because we don't deal with IAPs. Ours is bandwidth sharing monetization, but still the spread of external stores and the new DTC regulations have an impact on us as well, because for us to be able to offer our monetization, we have to get user consent. And instead of it coming as a separate pop-up, which is seemingly out of nowhere and is not often understood by users, if it is a part of the same consistent flow, which is used by the game developer, for example, they can choose to pay for certain premium features, or they can choose to acquire them in exchange for turning on bandwidth sharing. That helps us to reach out to the user and helps conversion, might help conversion a lot, we think. So it's a good thing, as is a good the trend towards increased demonopolization of app stores.
Okay, great answer. And I wanted to say, if you still have the mic, I'm going to follow up with you, but then yeah, you took it. Okay. So we're talking about, let's say, we're starting to understand that as time advances, we need to find more ways and more ways to monetize the users. What would you say? Let's discuss, let's say, other alternative or different ways that you know or might own that can really increase the revenues today.
Alternative monetization is actually what we offer. Ours is a bandwidth sharing type of monetization. We are essentially a web data management company, and we offer structured public web data to our B2B clients in order to do activities like price optimization, network marketing strategy optimization, looking for counterfeit products on apps, on various stores, and so on. So in order for us to do it effectively, we partner with app and game developers to include our SDK, which is pretty simple and lightweight and does only one thing. It receives and forwards requests from our server to download this public web data without touching the user data or the device data whatsoever. So we understand that this might not be a good fit for everyone, and we are not claiming to be the holy grail of monetization, but it still brings additional income, which may be welcome, and in a few scenarios it may be indispensable. For example, if you have lower performing or older games and you need to decide whether to invest in maintaining them or whether just let them die. The extra revenue can be the deciding factor here. If you are an upstart developer and you have already maxed out your ads and you fear about your user retention, and yet you need that revenue to show something to the investors, we can also help. Finally, if you are developing an online multiplayer game, which is free to play, and you need to pay for your server costs, this is where we can come in and give you that initial monetization, initial revenue, which can cover your costs as you expand into other kinds of monetization. So, like I said, this might not be a good fit for everyone, but we do hope that this extra 1-2 cents per DAO can be what for some studios means the difference between shutting down and continuing to work, producing more titles. Eventually, some of them may become those great hits which everybody is looking for.
Yeah, 1 or 2 cents could be very relevant in a lot of, let's say, CPI campaigns and the less ROI ones. So I think it's great to find another way, especially if it's seamless. Yael, would you like to add?
Yes, I will talk about alternative monetization for squeezing the lemon that creates models that bring more users to near-miss experience. We know that most of the users make their purchase when they are in a FOMO experience, wherein they pass 90% from a mission bar, and they're in the last mission, they're missing only one card in the album. It can be on a daily mission, weekly mission, or even long term. But to create models that push users that far away from this point in a smooth way, not in terms that with pop-ups that pop to the users, and in smooth way to bring them to this near miss. It can be by changing probabilities that bring more symbols to the users that stuck. It can be increasing reward, so the user will get there, even increasing RTP, and it can be also in a personal offer. They can buy much more than other users that will exactly fit them to close the feature. When we do it, we saw big uplift in all of the measure, gameplay, revenue.
Okay, sounds good. Convinced. Maya?
Yes. So in terms of squeezing the lemon, I think we're talking about just monetizing with offers and more sales and more chips, and there is a limit to how much you can squeeze it. I think that the way that we are handling it is selling experiences in addition to these chips. Of course, they need the chips to keep on playing, but in the end, they want to pay for fun, for gameplay, and we are focusing on monetizing the fun as well. If it's by opening exclusive slots only to players that purchase the battle pass, for example. So in the end, they don't pay just for the regular currencies. They pay to get a more fun experience, to get new content. And we also try to connect and loop all our products into the offers in the end. You progress in one feature to progress in the other, and everything has to be related with the core gameplay in the end, because that's why the players are there. They come to play, and this is the focus.
Okay, as I said, this is a really Shark Tank. You can see two companies that are doing amazing work on the personalization and optimizations. They are where they are because there's a reason, and it's very hard to succeed with games today. So you have to check your niche and check where are you getting inside today, because some challenges are almost impossible today. Let's talk about a topic that I think this will be the first time you will ever hear about it, AI. Tell us a little what you do with AI in the departments, and does it really affect your KPIs? Is it something that you can even measure the effect of successful ones? Let's start with Maya, this time.
Of course. We mostly use AI for operational optimization at the moment. We don't have any customer-facing AI, but we do use AI tools to work better inside the company. We automated a lot of processes, and we save, I guess, around evaluated 15 to 20% of team capacity with working on operational things. And it has a lot of benefits. It reduces the production mistakes, first of all, human errors, once everything is automated through AI tools. And also, it leaves the teams with time to actually work on the more, let's say, important things, on strategies, on building future plans. It clears out a lot of the time. And we see it growing more and more. We see more and more tools. We see data tools that are helping us making smarter decisions and not being dependent on specific analysts to wait for information, get it much faster and with the conclusions that we need. And this will be growing more and more, as we know.
My guess that eventually the whole process will be created by AI and almost so finalized by AI. Maybe next year. We'll discuss it in the next question. Yael, what do you do in Playtika on this?
I will talk about AI tools from the business side and how it can help us increase metrics like revenue, gameplay. We can create much better models with AI that will predict how much player will play and pay. For example, we have a prediction that predict the likelihood the player will buy in the following day, in the following week, and the following month. And by that, we can create a specific treatment for users with less probability to buy or higher probability to buy. And also we see that we have a better prediction for gameplay that predict how much player will play in this day with the AI tools. And we can do it in every measure like retention and new players. So we do see significantly increase that help us to bring much more uplift.
Impressive. Pavel, what do you do in your company?
AI has meant a lot for us in the sense that if you know machine learning, you know that data always beats the model. So no matter how good your model, if you don't have enough high quality public data, you will not take off. So this has led to a huge increase in demand for structured public web data. And it has also led to increased rates, like, for example, in our field, monetization rates in key geographic locations like the US have tripled in the last 2 years. And this has also enabled us to pay more to our partners. AI can be a big factor in smaller companies scaling up. At Infatica, we are not a very large team. We are just a little bit more than 30 people, but we are already seeing that with the AI tools, we are able to be more efficient at building value-added products like data as a service and data analytics, which recently have been limited to much larger companies than ourselves. It is not without its challenges. Getting people to be able to do it effectively has not been easy. We have seen a huge productivity growth in our infrastructure team, which is led by very experienced people. Their productivity has increased by at least 50%, in some cases by a factor of 3. In terms of building value-added products, this has been harder, but we are moving in that direction, and we are hoping that as we build these products, will also be able to offer better terms and better rates to our partners.
Okay, sounds good. So I predicted that in 2026, AI will create games from the research until deployment. There will be some, let's say, help from the human side, but I totally believe in it. Yael, what do you think will happen in 2026?
I will continue the last question, but I think the major thing is AI. I think we have great tools that saves time in, for example, to create art assets. We are working with GeneLabs. Instead of creating in 1 week, we can create things in few hours. But I don't think there is great tools in order to create configuration or create a calendar based on AI. And I think this can be the big measure in monetization.
Okay, interesting. Maya?
I'd have to just agree with Yael. I think monetization calendars haven't made the AI revolution yet. And there is a big potential there. I think we are working a lot with what we know, what we think, and what data we have. And it could be taken a step forward with building much smarter and also dynamic calendars that would be much more personalized, much more segmented by AI helping us identify the specific small segments that we need to tackle and can just maximize revenue.
Totally agree. The AI really improved, and there's so much room to use it, which is amazing for me. Pavel, how would you wrap it up?
Oh, well, for us, we hope that in this coming year, we shall see increased proliferation of alternative monetization models. And but I'm not just talking about increased revenue or increased payouts. I'm also thinking of increased acceptance and increased understanding both for the public and for the regulators, so that we're not longer seen as something as exotic. We are working in that direction as a company, as an industry. There are a number of ethical web data collection initiatives which are being taken up by a number of our competitors / partners. And as a company ourselves, we are working in that direction. We are in the process of becoming a Unity certified monetization partner. We are also doing a number of security audits. Some of them are actually published on our website and accessible to partners and the general public. So we hope that this trend towards greater transparency and greater adoption continues.
Okay, so great answer for everyone. Great panel. Do we have time to ask questions? Anyone has questions? Usually no one asks until someone asks and then 70 people ask. So it says either it was very boring or very good and everyone understand everything.